Hey guys, what's up? So, I wanted to make this video very quickly to give a basic overview about the enemy races that you'll come across in WarFrame as a way of introducing WarFrame to new players who may be coming around right now after the announcement of Plains of Eidolon. So, quick overview of WarFrame is that it's a third-person shooter, primarily dungeon crawling shoot 'em up ninja game. That's basically what WarFrame is. And you'll come across 3 different factions of enemies, each with their own unique aesthetic, which we'll talk about in a bit. And you, as the Tenno, your purpose is basically to try and maintain balance within the solar system, which is commonly known as the Origin system. So we'll start off with one of the possibly more ubiquitous races in the game, which is the Renea. So they're similar to the Terrans of StarCraft, if you think about it. They're primarily boots on the ground kind of army, in that almost all of the troops that you'll find within the Renea army are actual troops. Generally speaking, the Renea are created in a cloning process, so you'll actually be going up against a bunch of clone troopers, so if you can think about it like that as well. There are also a handful of Renea that look like they're robotic, primarily the heavy gunners and the bombards. They're not actually robotic, they're just Renea covered in heavy armor. So all Renea have varying forms of armor, that's how they function, and that's something to keep an eye on. This is a little bit different to the Corpus, who you can kind of consider are similar to Protoss. They rely a lot more on robotics, technology, and they all have shields. The Corpus employ a variety of technological weapons such as nullifier shields, which everyone hates, small flying support drones, known as Ospreys, and walking mobile offensive armatures, which are universally referred to as mowers. You pretty much never hear anyone call them a mobile offensive armature. And finally we move on to the Infested, which are very similar to the Zerg. They're all generally biological beings that seem to function under a hive mind or something like that. But we don't know what that hive mind is yet. But unlike the Zerg, they're not necessarily their own race, as the Infested were formed under a virus known as the Technocyte. Some of the Infested, such as the Chargers, look like they were spawned from Renea hosts. You'll notice that they kind of look like they have some of the Renea armor, which doesn't function like normal Renea armor anymore, so you don't have to worry about that. Whereas others, such as the Runners, look like they grew from Corpus hosts. You'll notice that they have the Corpus suit pants. You can actually think of them as, what if the Infested Terrans were a completely playable race? Which is kind of like Stukov in co-op mode. And then of course there's also one more race that's known as the Corrupted. They're basically normal versions of Renea, Corpus, and Infested, but they've been subjugated by the Void, so they're actually not normal versions of Renea, Corpus, and Infested. You can think of them basically as Amon's minions when they show up in the epilogue of Legacy of the Void. So I hope this video helps provide a bit of an overview about who we go up against as the Tenno. There is a WarFrame wiki with a lot more information that dives into some of the more subtle details about each faction, such as the Renea being some sort of a matriarchy, the Corpus being capitalist merchants, and the Infested being a rogue weapon. There are other factions such as the Oricon and the Sentient, which I have not actually found a good comparison to yet, so I've decided to leave them out for now. Plus there's a lot of mystery involving the Oricon and the Sentient, which is probably going to be explored in future quests, so that's a lot more speculative. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and until next time I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye!